I align myself with all that my colleague, Honorable Barile Wako, the Deputy Minority Leader of the 10th Assembly. It will interest you to know that I represent the FCT Minister, His Excellency, Chief Barrister Ezenwonye Wike. He is my constituent. And I want to let you know that before coming for this press briefing, that I informed him. I told him of it. But he said to me that I should do whatever my conscience tells me to do. I therefore speak to the conscience of the governor of Rivers State and her deputy. To retrace their steps and govern in line with the Constitution and keep all agreements entered with the supervision of Mr. President for the good and betterment of Rivers State.
Indeed, we did tell you that Rivers politics is still very much on the front burner. We're joined by Mr. Ehi Brima now, who is the publisher, editor-in-chief of the Niger Times. Mr. Brima, Happy New Year to you, even though it seems a little late. 16 days gone already in January, but I don't know. Do you still feel like we're...
It's not late. Happy New Year. It's not late at all.
Indeed. Happy New Year to you. And we've been told already that this is a political year. 2026 is going to be the year a lot is decided. And very early in the year, we saw threats of impeachment by members of the Rivers State House of Assembly who boldly came out to say that they would like to impeach the governor for some constitutional, what they termed constitutional breaches. But in the last couple of days, we've seen a few lawmakers pull out. Initially, we saw first two say that much as they acknowledge that indeed the governor might have committed some constitutional breaches, they would like to tread a path of peace. They want to see reconciliation and perhaps politics come into the mix to resolve whatever differences exist. And just yesterday, we also saw this particular announcement by these other female lawmakers. Or you heard her say that she incidentally represents the Minister of the FCT, who is her constituent and in the House of Assembly. So what are your thoughts with what we're seeing in the Rivers State House, or in Rivers in general, especially with regards to the politics? Are you pretty shocked that we saw this impeachment threat? That's the last week. And what do you make of some of the lawmakers who are now saying, well, maybe we should take a step back and take a second look at this?
I must say that when the impeachment notice came this time again, and I'm like, every day you have one new trouble in Rivers State. It was totally uncalled for. I was, although I was not surprised, but it wasn't called for at all. And but you can see that the momentum has slowed down. They were supposed to have reconvened yesterday, the House of Assembly, but nothing like that. And you see more and more members of the House of Assembly saying they don't want to be part of the impeachment process anymore. I mean, since January 8th, when about 26 lawmakers served their notice, citing different constitutional breaches, you probably thought by now, but they were given 7 days, the governor and his deputy. But it is evident that there are a lot of conversations, behind the scenes. And honestly, I didn't see this, coming through, removing the governor from office. I mean, this is, for crying out loud, Governor Sinai Fubara has crossed over to the APC. And he is now one of the 28 governors, APC governors. And you think the leadership of APC and the party in power will just allow one of their own governors to be thrown away? After what he has suffered between March and September last year, when he was suspended from office. So I think it's a matter the APC stakeholders are interested in. It's a matter Mr. President himself is also interested in. And you can be sure that Mr. President is not sleeping on this matter. So I'm sure he's giving specific instructions, and I'm sure those instructions will also include like stopping that impeachment process.
Mr. Brimer, I think it was last week, our interview on Hard Copy, and we had Mr. Tonya Cole on the program, and he said categorically, and I've heard a lot of people say this, there will not be any peace between these two parties, Siminalayi Fubara and Nyesom Wike. The anger is too much. One feels very betrayed, the other one feels very stifled, and then now is the battle for who can gather as many supporters as possible to, win, as though there's a winner in this matter, to win in this particular drama. And then the question about what happens after, the president has, do you remember the last intervention? No, there has been no intervention like that. He put a state of emergency. And from the conversations we're seeing afterwards, it does seem like that state of emergency was to save Governor Siminalayi Fubara, because the plan apparently was to impeach him. So state of emergency, installed somebody there. The whole country was upset. There was upheavals everywhere. The matter had to go to court. And then an agreement, you will do this, you will do this, everyone. And then 6 months, they came back and the same problem again. Do you really believe that there will be a solution to this matter in Rivers State? And what is a way out in your view?
At some point, I'm sure the Honorable Minister will have to calm down. Mr. President tells him to calm down. He will calm down. I mean, look at what happened in Lagos State House of Assembly the other day when the Speaker, was removed, Obasa. And then, of course, that process was reversed after Mr. President intervened. So, sometimes this is just politics. And we all know politics is about interest. At the end of the day, you also want to ask, what about the place of the people? What is their gain in all of this unnecessary fight? I believe that this fight between Wike and Fubara has gone on for too long. And if it's Wike's biggest fear is if Fubara gets a second term, and he said it himself that he'll be very politically. I don't think he should see it like that. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. If you anointed Fubara, as it were, to become the governor, and then this is what is now playing out, clearly there must have been a poor, judgment call on Wike's part. But I think he needed to just let it go. I mean, you have been local government chairman. You have been chief of staff to Rotimi Amechi. You have served as minister. You have served as governor for 8 years. Now you are serving as a minister again in FCT. Oh, come on. I think Wike should just give us a break. I understand how he feels that he's been betrayed and he wants to protect his political structures. But life is all about you win some, you lose some. If at the end of the day, because it's very evident now, the APC leaders, as I said, they're not going to let Fubara go down. Because Wike is doing everything to stop Fubara from getting a second term ticket.
Yeah.
And that was why this impeachment thing kicked in. But if that fails, it means Wike, Fubara obviously will be coasting home, and participating in the primaries and possibly getting the second term ticket. So for everything as we have seen it, it is not helping our democracies. For me, I always say these things are threats. When individuals become strong men, become too powerful, it doesn't help our democracy. We should rather build strong institutions, not strong individuals. And in the case of the Honorable Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, I believe that he should just let this go and allow Wike and the people of Rivers State to have their moment.
We'll be watching to see if that actually happens. But it's not just Rivers State. It's Kano. We saw even some stories from Abia where some people are accusing Orji's Okalo of trying to, take over the structure in the state. And, it does feel like this politics of opposition in Nigeria on one side has its issues going on. But then the ones that are already in government, there's back and forth and whatnot. I think on some level we've started thinking that this is normal when it comes to political years like this, the upheavals and everything. But, you know, you ended that statement by talking about what it does to democracy. These fights, are they healthy on some level for our democratic process, or are they just, you know, people who are concerned more about their interests and not really about developments in their states?
The governors, they know what they're doing. And it's all about position, power, and influence. And then who controls the resources of the state. That is what is playing out, you know, most of the time. I'm talking about fight between governors who appointed their successors. In Edo State, between Gordon Obaseki and his predecessor, who also anointed him, by the way. Talking about Senator Adams Oshiomhole, who also served the Edo State as a governor for 2 years. That happened in Kaduna. You saw what also played out between Obasani and Nasir El-Rufai. So it's like a game. And the rest of us are just pawns on the political chessboard. So let us see, but we must continue to encourage and promote democracy, in spite of all our faults and shortcomings. The other point I'd like to make is you mentioned Kano State, you mentioned Abia State. Currently, I won't want to say there are pressures on those two governors to come to APC, to defect to APC. But clearly, these defections, they appear induced, if you ask me, and they must have their reasons. You know, so our team, they're trying to also do a story on what these defections are all about. The governors moving to APC, even second-term governors are also moving
before Wike comes in, I mean, the defection of defections, not to cut you there, Mr. Brima. Yesterday, we also saw in the news that Atiku Abubakar's son has joined the APC. You know, and he released the statement, you know, basically saying, look, this is his choice. He's allowed to do this, you know. But talk to us about this political year and how the Nigerian can keep their sanity in a year where politicking is hitting you with one news after the other every single day. How do we stay focused and be ready for 2027?
A lot will still happen. We need to just brace ourselves as we count down to 2027. A lot will be happening. So let us get our popcorn ready and sit and watch as political events develop and unfold. But this year, the parties, the party in power, APC, we're now having the ADC trying to now really strengthen as a major opposition party. We also have the PDP, you have the Labour Party, you have Accord, you have SDP. Let us see how, you know, this the politics of 2027 begins to come, you know, to the fore. I believe that we are in for interesting times this year because you see, politics is all about having a strategy to win. Whatever that strategy may be, people are meeting, and of course, Mr. President wants to return for a second term, and be sure they will do everything humanly possible to make that happen. Whereas the opposition too are also working very hard, especially the ADC, to unseat the president. But we'll see how that goes.
You took that right out of my mouth, Mr. Brima, because you just mentioned the ADC, and yesterday we saw Mr. Dele Momodu, or Chief Dele Momodu, go to Edo State to pick up his membership card. And he made mention of the fact that he says at least two of the most formidable opposition candidates are already in the ADC. He says, never mind the current jostling and infighting, it would seem that this is what we would normally see, but he believes very strongly that the ADC would coalesce in time to give the APC a good run for its money. How optimistic are you that we'll be able to see that from the ADC, given all that we're currently hearing?
I want our democracy to be vibrant with opposition politics. That's why I'm really not in support of the idea of what people now call a one-party democracy. You know, we should have two big parties, two, you know, parties that are really so that we get the best, you know, from politicians and their plans and programs. So talking about ADC, I see the momentum is now building, because up to last year, we're not sure, you know, what the direction will be. But right now, I can see a lot of political heavyweights are moving in that direction. And I'm sure we'll still have more people politicians in the months to come declaring for the ADC. So yes, I watched Dele Momodu. I call him my publisher. Yesterday declaring for ADC in Benin City. By the way, he was also at Ihere, his hometown in Edo State. Chief Dele Momodu is from Edo State, so he went home and to make his case that he's now joining the ADC and that he's going to work very hard to see that they are successful at the next election. But we'll see how that goes, because the work, there's a lot of work to be done from the world level, local government level, state level, to the federal level. It's a lot of work to get things done in all the wards and polling units throughout the country. But I wish them the best. But the issue of who will be their presidential candidate, I think that's a trending topic, because earlier, the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, said that nobody's stepping down for anyone. So, and Peter Obi declaring that he's joining the party the other day. So there's this interesting, conversation about who will be their candidate, who will be the winner in their primaries. We'll just wait and see. 24 hours in politics is a very long time. So I'm sure at the end of the day, they will find a solution.
Indeed, and I know that you and I will be here to analyze and give life to whatever it is that transpires at the end of the day. Mr. Ibrahim, I will look forward to engaging with you in the course of the year. Thank you so much for speaking with us this morning. He is a publisher.
Thank you, Mark Ware, thank you, Kayla. Happy New Year again.
Indeed. Thank you. Mr. Ibrahim is a publisher and editor-in-chief of the Niger Times. And that's how we wrap it up this beautiful Friday morning. It's been quite a beauty being with you in your living space, wherever it is you're watching us. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. I'm Maokwe Ogunyuso.
Indeed, it is Friday. Have a great weekend ahead. Remember to join us on hard copy. And yes, Chris, you can send me the bill. 8:30 tonight. I'm Kayla Magua. Have a wonderful weekend.
There will be no bill.